Right now, your phone is probably within arm's reach. You might have checked it in the last few minutes, maybe the last few seconds. And if it buzzed right now, your hand would move before your brain even decided to move it. That reflex feels modern. It feels like a you problem. But the real answer is far stranger. We call that reflex is ancient, older than language, older than fire. The same survival instinct that kept your ancestors alive for 2 million years is now the reason you cannot put down a rectangle of glass. Think about what your ancestors faced every single day, not deadlines, predators, drought, rivals, starvation. The world they lived in punished the distracted and rewarded the alert. If something moved at the edge of your vision, you looked. If someone in your group signaled alarm, your heart rate jumped before you understood why. This was not a choice. This was wiring. Deep, ancient, survival-grade wiring. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar found that the single most important resource your ancestors tracked was not food or water. It was other people. Knowing who was angry, who was allied, who had power. That was the difference between being protected by the group and being cast out. Being cast out was a death sentence. Your brain evolved to be obsessed with social information because social information kept you alive. Now your phone is the most concentrated delivery system for social information ever built. Every notification is a signal from the tribe. Every like is a status update. Your ancient brain does not know it is looking at a screen. It thinks it is scanning the savannah. It thinks every buzz is a rustle in the grass. And so it looks. Every single time. Neuroscientist Kent Berridge at the University of Michigan found that dopamine is not triggered by a reward itself. It is triggered by the possibility of one. A guaranteed reward barely moves the needle, but a reward that might come that you do not know is coming, that sends dopamine surging. Your phone is engineered around that exact mechanism. Every time you open an app, you do not know what you will find. That uncertainty is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. The same loop that makes slot machines hard to walk away from was deliberately built into social media by people who understood exactly what they were doing. Former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris called this a race to the bottom of the brainstem, a competition to capture as much of your ancient automatic attention as possible. And your brain, built for a world that no longer exists, has almost no defense against it. Your ancestors lived in groups of roughly 150 people. You knew their faces, histories, moods, processed in real time, with full context. Now your phone hands you signals from thousands simultaneously. Your brain tries to process all of it the same way. It cannot. The result is low-grade cognitive overwhelm that most people have stopped noticing. Psychologist John Twenge tracked mental health as smartphones became universal. Loneliness and depression among adolescents climbed sharply around 2012, exactly when ownership crossed 50%. Exactly then, the solution is not to hate your phone. It is not to call yourself weak. The solution is to understand what your brain is doing and rebuild the conditions that allowed your ancestors to put the signal down. When your ancestors did not have social information available around the clock, the campfire went dark, sleep came, there were natural breaks, enforced pauses that let the brain reset. The modern world replaced those pauses with the option to keep going. A brain wired to seek social signals will always keep going unless something stops it. That something has to be you, but not through willpower. Willpower is a conscious system. Your phone habit runs on something far older and faster, and the reflex always wins. What works is environmental design. Your ancestors did not resist scanning for threats all night, and the fire simply died. The structure of the environment forced the rest. Rebuild that structure deliberately. Phone out of the bedroom, 30 screen-free minutes each morning. Defined windows for checking apps. not a permanent background hum. Researcher Gloria Mark at UC Irvine found it takes 23 minutes to fully return to a task after an interruption. Most people are interrupted every 3 to 5 minutes. Deep focus has become structurally impossible, not because people are lazy, but because the interruptions never let recovery complete. Your relationship with your phone is not a character flaw. It is an ancient brain encountering a modern trap. You win it by understanding the wiring and building environments that work with your biology. Your ancestors sat around fires, they told stories, they looked at the same sky and felt the same belonging. They were wired for presence in a way that you still are underneath everything. The phone is not the enemy.